Welcome back to A Moment in History. I'm Seth Udinsky. In this episode, let's travel back only a few decades to the final year of the 20th century to a horrific and catastrophic crime that shaped the makeup of an entire generation. On April 20th, 1999, hundreds of high school students arrived at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado for what they expected to be a normal day. It would become a tragic and horrific day for these students and teachers as 13 members of Columbine High School were murdered in cold blood by two shooters in one of the worst mass school shootings in American history, the Columbine Massacre. At roughly 11:20 a.m. local time, two students named Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris opened fire on their classmates on school grounds outside the building. They quickly ran into the school library and continued their shooting spree. Finally, after murdering 12 students, one teacher, and wounding 20 more, just after noon on April 20th, the two high school boys committed suicide before they could be given justice. This was one of the worst tragedies and crimes of the modern era, but even in this horrible darkness, there are great examples of steadfastness and sacrifice, and even accounts of Christian students refusing to back down for their faith in God. One account recalls a male student who held open a door for his classmates to escape. This boy was killed in the fire. There are multiple accounts as well of female students who were asked by the gunman to recant their faith in God and refused to do so. One controversial account comes from the testimony of Cassie Bernhall, a 17-year-old Christian student who was reportedly asked to deny her faith in God by one of the gunmen. She was executed after refusing to deny it. Now, there are many that will deny the specifics of this story, but that's not really the point. There were other confirmed reports of a female student named Valine Schnurr who was shot, then asked to recant, and even as she suffered from her wound, refused to do so, and she, by the way, survived. This is a story as much about a horrible crime committed by wicked people as it is about the courage and steadfastness of those who witnessed it. The Columbine Massacre left its mark on the millennial generation, and many politicians sought to use it for their own personal agenda of gun control. But we must remember that what happened at Columbine High School on April 20th was not because guns are inherently evil, but because people are inherently evil. Let us think soberly about our own sin, and may we come to the foot of the cross and look to Christ, who gives us the faith and steadfastness to withstand trials of many kinds. Thanks so much for joining me once again for A Moment in History.